Let's break down the Wing Chun straight punch. Typically, we're going to begin practicing our punch from our Yeung, and this is going to help develop a solid base because without a good foundation, we won't be able to deliver any power with our punch. When we punch, we want to make sure our shoulders are relaxed and we keep our elbow tucked in. We're going to start by punching from our heart center, and as you can see, my fist is about a fist length away from my chest. Now when we punch out, we're going to be pushing through our elbow and aiming with the bottom 3 knuckles. Although I don't entirely agree with this dogma, and I'll explain later. Now that we have those key components down, we're going to add some movement to our practice. From the Yeung, we're going to be shifting as we punch. So when we shift, we want to make sure that we shift on our heels, and we're shifting 45 degrees, as well as turning our hips slightly. This is going to add extra power to our punch. The last component is adding a slight wrist flick at the end to add a little extra power. I think this part is very misunderstood. Sometimes you'll see people punching like this, and that is completely incorrect. When we punch, we're going to be doing a straight punch, and on the point of contact, that very, very small fraction of a second, we're going to add a little extra flick of the wrist, and this is going to add that inch power. I'm going to use a wooden dummy to demonstrate what the punch should look like all together. And I'm going to punch very slowly so you can see the point of contact where I flick my wrist. So why don't I agree with the Wing Chun dogma of punching with the bottom 3 knuckles? Let me explain. If you've ever punched somebody in the face, you know it freaking hurts. So I prefer to punch people in the face with these 2 knuckles and not my last knuckle. Mostly because it's the weakest out of the 3. I can see if you're punching a soft target, you're going to use the bottom 3 knuckles, but certainly not the face. Okay, and finally, just a word on the training methodologies. Nobody is going to be fighting from this stance. It's just not a good stance to fight from. If you've never fought, then maybe you think it's a good stance, but it sucks for fighting. I want to be kind of like in this stance. I want to have a good base, and I want to keep my hands up by my face. How this relates to the straight punch. So when I'm doing a straight punch, I can still apply my shifting principles from the stance. When I'm punching, I can shift slightly. And really, this is going to give me a nice little advantage because if my body is forward facing and my reach is only to this distance, if I shift, now all of a sudden, my lead, it becomes longer. It's a really good deceptive practice. So yeah, just keep that in mind.